You look at India, a nation of over 1.4 billion people, where marriage isn't just a union between two individuals, but a strategic alliance between two families. India's wedding industry is worth over $50 billion a year, and arranged marriages still account for more than 80% of all weddings. Millions of anxious parents are walking around with their children's marriage resumes, known as biodatas, ready to spend whatever it takes to find an equal match. You smile and think to yourself, this is a recession-proof goldmine with infinite demand and zero physical inventory. You think running a matrimonial agency in India is just sitting around drinking tea, playing matchmaker, and collecting happy commission checks. But behind the glamorous curtain of big fat Indian weddings lies one of the most ruthless, reputation-sensitive, and high-churn business models in the world. Here is the truth. You are not selling love or romance. You are running a mini investment bank that audits social capital, a business where clients pay you to verify family status, perform financial risk assessments, and alleviate parental anxiety. And the most brutal part? If your service works perfectly, your customer will never come back. The takeaway. A matrimonial agency looks like a simple matchmaking service, but at its core, it is a high-pressure risk management machine. Section 2. Types of ownership models. Before diving in, you need to understand that matchmaking in India is deeply fragmented by social class, technology, and human touch. There are 5 distinct business models operating in this space. The traditional matchmaker or boutique agency, operating purely on personal networks and the founder's reputation. It offers high personalization for a small elite clientele, but scaling is extremely difficult due to heavy reliance on individual labor. The tech aggregator model, platforms like Shadi, Komor Bharat Matrimony. They operate like paid social networks with automated matching algorithms. Tech development and user acquisition costs are massive, but the marginal cost per new user is nearly zero. The biggest threat here is fake profiles and low marriage conversion rates. The local franchise hybrid, combining a central digital database with physical consultation offices in Tier 2s and Tier 3 cities. Parents physically walk in to talk with local agents. The risk lies in high real estate overhead and managing quality control across branches. The ultra-elite H&W concierge, catering strictly to business dynasties, billionaires, and celebrities. Services include private investigators, asset audits, non-disclosure agreements, and socio-political matchmaking. Fees are sky high, but the barrier to entry is impossible without pre-existing elite connections. The community or caste-specific agency, focusing exclusively on a single community, such as Marwaris, Punjabis, or Brahmins. These agencies enjoy tight-knit networks and high internal trust, but their total addressable market is strictly capped by the size of that community. The takeaway. They all connect people for marriage, but these 5 models have completely different cost structures, risk profiles, and customer bases. Section 3. The cost of ferry, the financial barrier to launch a professional matrimonial agency in India, spans a wide range. To launch a credible, high-trust brand, initial startup costs generally fall between 12,000 and 180,000 USD, or roughly 10 lakhs to 1.5 crores in Indian rupees. Here is where that capital goes. Prime office space and atmosphere. Parents are your primary buyers, and they won't trust their child's future to a dingy basement. You need a prime, welcoming, and prestigious location to build immediate credibility. Technology, database CRM, and security. Specialized matchmaking software that filters dozens of complex variables, such as caste, income, astrology charts, and education, backed by bank-grade data privacy encryption. Customer acquisition cost, CAC. Marketing in this industry is expensive. You'll spend heavily on Google Ads, social media, traditional print classifieds, and offline community networking events. Background verification network, retaining private background investigators, financial auditors, and field agents to verify declared income, career claims, and family history. Legal, licensing, and working capital buffer. Contract drafting to protect against legal disputes if marriages fail, plus a 6 to 12 month runway to cover fixed operational costs before success fees kick in. The takeaway: the biggest barrier to entry isn't technology. It's the high cost of buying trust in a conservative market. Action 4. How the business actually works. At the deepest level, a matrimonial agency doesn't target young singles. It targets parents, the true financial decision makers. The real operational pipeline follows 5 strict steps. Step 1. The biodata audit. Beyond a standard resume, a biodata includes professional photos, family asset profiles, horoscope details, caste origins, and specific partner criteria. Step 2. Screening and vetting. Relationship managers verify whether the claims on the biodata match reality. One fraudulent financial claim can destroy your agency's reputation overnight. Step 3. Horoscope and value alignment. In India, many families refuse to meet unless astrology charts, known as kundalis, are compatible. Agencies must integrate astrological screening into their workflow. Step 4. The parental meeting. Before the prospective bride and groom ever speak, parents meet at the agency's office or an upscale restaurant to negotiate family expectations. Step 5. The follow-through and success fee. From the first meeting to the formal engagement can take anywhere from 3 to 9 months. Your team acts as emotional mediators to resolve sudden conflicts over wedding arrangements or financial demands. Revenue is structured across 3 tiers: a non-refundable registration fee, plus a monthly consulting retainer, plus a final success bonus upon engagement. The takeaway: running an Indian matrimonial agency is essentially managing a high-stakes corporate merger negotiation between 2 family boards. Section 5. The paradoxical central insight, and now for the most paradoxical economic reality of this industry. In almost every traditional business, the happier your customer is, the higher their lifetime value. If you buy a great smartphone, you buy another one a few years later. If you love a delivery app, you order every week. In matchmaking, a perfect transaction means you lose your customer forever. Look at the brutal math. You spend hundreds of dollars acquiring a client. If you do a terrible job, they leave you angry. But if you do a flawless job and deliver a dream wedding, they thank you, celebrate, and never use your service ever again. They have left the market permanently. Here is the central paradox. The agency's true profit does not come from the wedding itself. It comes from monetizing parental anxiety and the long, selective filtering process. Successful agencies don't just sell weddings. They sell risk mitigation. Parents are terrified of online dating scams. They pay you for safety, background checks, and peace of mind. Exclusive access. The feeling of viewing private, high-tier profiles that are off-limits to the public. Dedicated relationship managers. Parents pay a monthly retainer just to have a professional absorb the emotional stress and awkward rejections on their behalf. In other words, winning agencies monetize the time and friction of the search process, rather than relying solely on a distant success fee. The takeaway: profits aren't made at the altar. They are made by relieving parental anxiety month after month during the search. Section 6. Case studies. Note: the following examples are illustrative scenarios based on general industry dynamics. The failure case: MatchQuick India. MatchQuick launched as a tech-first app attempting to disrupt arranged marriage. They poured 80% of their capital into a sleek mobile interface targeting 20-somethings in Bangalore, offering free registration and instant AI matching within 24 hours. Within 6 months, they hit centile signups, but their user retention collapsed by 90%. Why? Young users matched online, but 95% of these matches were vetoed by parents due to unverified family backgrounds and lack of horoscope checks. Worse, unvetted profiles led to several high-profile financial scams reported on social media. MatchQuick burned through its marketing budget without collecting any meaningful success fees, leading to shutdown. The success case: Vedic Heritage Matrimony. Vedic Heritage took a boutique hybrid approach, targeting wealthy business families in Mumbai. They built no public app. Instead, they opened a single luxury suite designed like a five-star lounge. They charged an upfront registration fee of around $600 USD just to submit an application. Every family was assigned a dedicated relationship manager for a monthly retainer of $3 USD. They hired private background checkers to discreetly verify business balance sheets and real estate ownership for every candidate. With just 5% active family profiles, Vedic Heritage generated over $180,000 USDs annually in recurring monthly retainers alone, comfortably covering all overhead and salaries. When matches resulted in engagement, they collected an additional $3,000 to $6,000 success fee per family. Predictable. Upfront cash flow kept the business thriving without mass advertising. The takeaway: chasing volume without family-level verification leads to rapid burn, while targeting committed clients with recurring retainers builds long-term stability. Section 7. Sample Financial Model. Note: the following P&L is a generalized illustrative model for a mid-sized boutique matrimonial agency in India. Here is how the annual numbers break down for a healthy operation. Total revenue: approximately 144 FIUs USD. Registration and onboarding fees: 36 miles roughly 25% of total revenue. Monthly relationship manager retainers: $72, roughly 50% of total revenue. Match success bonuses: 36,000, roughly 25% from 15 to 20 completed matches. Direct costs: COGS 28,820. Background verification and asset audits 16,008. Astrology and expert consultation fees 12,000. Gross profit 100,280% gross margin. Operating expenses OPEX 79,200 USD 55. Relationship manager salaries and commissions 33,600. Targeted marketing, print and private events 24 FALs. Prime office rent and hospitality 14,400. Legal, CRM software and security $7,200. Net profit before tax 36,000 25% net margin. To reach break-even, an agency like this needs to maintain roughly 80 to 100 active families paying monthly retainers. That baseline covers fixed rent, core salaries, and software before any wedding bonuses are even earned. The takeaway: a 25% net profit margin is achievable, but only if predictable retainer fees cushion the unpredictable timing of wedding bonuses. Section 8. Best and worst case scenarios. Annual earnings for an agency owner fluctuate wildly based on network reputation and conversion efficiency. The best case scenario: your agency earns a reputation as the go-to matchmaker for an affluent community. Word of mouth referrals lower acquisition costs by 50%. You close 30+ successful marriages a year and upsell clients on ancillary wedding planning services. Annual revenue clears $300,000 USD, generating a personal net profit of $84, 0 to $125 US days per year. The worst case scenario: a fraudulent profile slips through vetting, leading to a public social media scandal. Parents demand refunds and pull their profiles. Digital ad costs surge due to fierce competition. Successful matches drop below 5 per year, drying up bonus cash. Revenue falls below 50,000 USD, while rent and payroll drag the business into losses of $18,000 to $30,000 in a USD a year, forcing closure. The takeaway: in a trust-based industry, losing reputation for a single minute can destroy years of financial equity. Section 9. What winners do differently plus conclusions. Top-performing matrimonial agencies in India don't act like old-school matchmakers. They think like wealth managers and premium lifestyle brands. They direct their marketing to parents. They don't pitch romantic love. They advertise family compatibility, background safety, and respect for tradition. They monetize every step of the vetting process. They don't gamble on the final wedding. They charge separately for advanced astrology audits, professional portfolio shoots, background checks, and premarital family counseling. They hire high EQ relationship managers. The best agents aren't smooth talkers. They are empathetic negotiators who know how to soothe sensitive family egos when disagreements arise. At the end of the day, running a matrimonial agency in India is not about fairy tales or romantic fate. Conclusion: a successful agency is a precise blend of bank-grade risk assessment, family psychology, and subscription-based financing, turning parental anxiety into a stable, highly profitable business.